One story that you've reported on, and that's getting a ton of attention these last few weeks, is that occasionally vast numbers of these illegal migrants are just kept in one place. There's a big sort of what looks like an open air community in Texas that you've reported on, and others have as well. What is that? What did you find? How'd you find it? And what's going on?
So that's Liberty County, Texas. You're talking about Colony Ridge, or if you say it in Spanish, Colonia Ridge, because it's kind of fashioned after the old style colonias. These kind of like bare knuckles, settlements that crop up on unincorporated territory along the border within 100 miles of the border. But this is 300 miles from the border in the interior of a Republican, like a very blood red state, Texas. This started about maybe 10 years ago, where a land developer came up with this idea that there is demand for illegal immigrants, among illegal immigrants, to buy land and own a home. And if I purchase, 10,000 acres of forest land, I can resell it in parcels of a quarter or 3/4 acre and finance it to them myself, so that they don't have to go to a bank for a mortgage that requires a history of legal income, credit ratings, and, IDs and all the normal things that you and I would have to produce if we were applying for a bank loan. Mm-hmm. If it's the owner selling it to you, he can make whatever terms he wants, mm-hmm. and doesn't need to ask for even ID. If they don't want, they do, I'm sure. But that's what happened. The marketing was all in Spanish language. It was internet marketing, so that means by definition it's international marketing. And the key message of the marketing was, you can own land in the United States. Just come out here to Liberty County and we'll cut you a deal for a few $100s. You can have a piece of land. Now, there's apparently nothing illegal about that. You could do that. You can charge whatever interest you want, I guess. So for the lack of credit rating or income history, you have to pay 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15% interest, depending on how long the loan is. But it still works out better for a lot of them. And that's what happened. They had this niche. There was this demand. They sold a ton of land. You can build whatever you want on the land. There's no code enforcement. There's no
Are most people building like mobile homes, or what did they put in there?
I'd say everything I see out there is like single wide and double wide mobile homes. But, you could see ramshackle dwellings that were built with like leftover scrap material. You can see tents, tarps, beautiful brick homes in some areas that are just really nice, beautiful, well-appointed homes. It's really just kind of a gamut, but the majority of it is going to be kind of the ramshackle variety, mm-hmm. Where it's a do-it-yourself kind of a thing. There's an appeal to that. And when you spend time out there on the ground like I have, you talk to people, they'll tell you that we believe that most everybody here is illegal. And I've actually interviewed people who are illegal, who's told me they were illegal, who bought land and showed me their mortgage documents. So, it's an unusual place. I don't know if this has been replicated in a lot of other places, but like I said, if you have 5 million illegal immigrants who just crossed the border, or people that were briefly legalized but will at some point soon will become illegal and aren't going to leave, you have this option. If you're working and you don't want to lose your investment, you just keep paying on it, and you've got a place. Mm-hmm. The other sort of appeal of the community, according to the immigrants, is that ICE won't go anywhere near there.
Why?
I don't know. Even under Trump, nobody would go in there. We feel safe here. Everybody knows that they're not going to come deport you here.
And this is unincorporated county, so they don't have police or fire.
There's a county sheriff, and Colony Ridge has paid for a number of bilingual officers to patrol, but it's still pretty thin. And, ICE won't go in there, and it's I regard it as a no-go zone, as a safe zone, as like the ultimate sanctuary city. Because for years and years,
it's a foreign settlement.
It's kind of a foreign settlement where the people feel like, we don't have to worry. They're not going to come get us. They're not going to find my fake driver's license and my fake registration for the car, and like turn me into ICE or even do anything about it. They're just like, yeah, we know everybo's like that. Everybody's like that.
How does the economics of this work? Do they work in neighboring farms or do they drive into the city?
So this community is about 40 miles northeast of Houston.
I see.
Which is a megalopolis with a lot of construction work. And a few years ago, there was a Hurricane Harvey came through and devastated the city. And there was a lot of work to rebuild it. And there's plenty of work in Texas near Houston. Mm-hmm. So I think that's how most of them subsist.
Interesting. Tell me about the gentleman who runs this tenement camp. He's a big Republican donor, right? Very politically connected.
Yeah, that's the Harris family, Trey Harris, John Harris. They're from a pretty storied family, as far as I can tell. They're a family of boxers, of professional boxers, who have been I think one of them fought, I don't want to say which one, but some famous boxers of the 60s, 50s and 60s. And, they're from a town called Cut and Shoot, one of my favorite names for a Texas town. They're businessmen. They came up with this idea. It appears to be legal. They donate to Republican candidates. They seem to be Republicans, but of a certain kind of Republican that maybe doesn't mind having a big cheap labor force. There is a strand of Republican of the party of under the umbrella that really kind of likes having a lot of cheap labor, and they own ranches and farms and furniture stores that can sell stuff to people that are putting little homes together out there, and it's an economic juggernaut. So, I mean, I've been asked if maybe there's something ideological about the family or something like that, but I mean, I think they're just business people. Mm-hmm. making a profit. Are
they double dipping? Do they have businesses where they take advantage of this labor pool that they're helping create and concentrate?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, my main focus was less the family and their motivations than the outcome, mm-hmm. which is that law enforcement tells me that because there is such thin federal presence there, and because and state presence, and because there's not a ton of law enforcement around there, that the Mexican cartels have moved in there. They feel free to operate.
I assume there's a ton of drug production going on in there.
Yeah, there's drugs that get caught. I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, they pulled a truck over that had 26 kilos of cocaine in it. And it's out in the middle of nowhere near this community. We don't know where it came from, but there's murders and, gun battles, and, there are giant marijuana grows and gambling operations and prostitution rings, according to local law enforcement. To me, that's a national security problem, regardless of how the business model developed and got them all there and continues to get them all there. It needs to be policed.
Yeah.
That you can't just ignore what's going on right in front of you, like they have for so long. And I would imagine that even the the developer would fully agree with me. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't agree with that? But I have reached out to them, and they don't want to talk to me, but they have talked, and they take great issue with the way their communities being characterized as a colonia. It's like the biggest illegal immigrant settlement in America, et cetera. They disagree with all
importing
of
the Brazilian favela model, basically.
Yeah.